Hello and welcome to Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the News. I'm Joe Youngblood, and on our show we'll keep our residents updated with all the latest and greatest happenings here at Shelby Township Parks and Rec. Today we have a special guest with us today. We have Deputy Supervisor Brad Bates. Brad, welcome to the show today.
Thanks for having me, Joe. I appreciate the opportunity.
Good. Now, Brad, we have a very exciting run coming up. We have the Veterans Run here in Shelby Township, and I know you're a big part of this run. And this is this the second or third year of the run?
It's the second year we're doing the run. I do a lot of the work with Mr. Phil Randazzo, our Veterans Events Coordinator, and Mr. Michael Ward, who's the kind of de facto race coordinator in Shelby Township. He does a lot of different charitable races, and he helps us out with the Veterans Run as well.
Good, yes, and we work with Michael Ward a lot with the Go for the Gold over at Riverbends Park, which is a very successful run, which goes to the Special Olympics, so we appreciate that. And you also mentioned Phil Randazzo and everything that he does for the veterans in the monument. That's amazing all the time he volunteers for that. Now, the run, how did the run start here in Shelby Township?
Well, it started last year. Mr. Randazzo approached me about, wanting to get some kind of community event with the memorial. So often the ceremonies and celebrations around the memorial have more of a somber feel to them as we honor our fallen heroes. And he wanted the community to be able to celebrate veterans in the memorial. And I thought it'd be nice to have that along with a small fundraiser where folks could, not everybody can make a large corporate contribution.
Sure.
And we wanted to put something so folks they could feel like they were part of the memorial and contribute a small amount and have a nice community event around it as well. So I knew Mr. Ward from his various races, and I thought it was just a perfect fit to have a nice 5K.
Right.
We have a beautiful campus, and Mace-Decker Park gives us a great course for it. So it was just one of those things, all the pieces really fit well, and last year we had a great event. Over 200 participants in year one, raised over $2,300 in year one. And, we had torrential downpour for the few minutes people were out on the course, but everybody still loved it. We still had smiles all around despite the rain, so it was a great event last year.
Well, good, and I do remember last year Michael Ward and his staff and some Parks and Rec staff working hard to get that trail ready because I think they had the chilly temperatures, a little bit of ice on the trail, but they got it up and running. So hopefully this year get a little bit better weather. Yeah,
we moved it up. Last year it was a little bit later in the year. We had it, I think, the second week of November, and then we had the Veterans Day celebration the third week. We combined those two events, and we're having it the first week in November to try to keep it a little bit warmer. So in addition to the 5K fundraiser, we also have our Veterans Day celebration immediately following with hot dogs, apple pie, and some local young bands from Music Maker Studios.
Oh, wonderful.
Doing a free performance for folks.
Sounds like a nice American small-town event.
That's what we want to go for. We want to celebrate America and our veterans all together. So
wonderful. Now, the course traverses through Cherry Creek, correct?
No, this one is restricted just to Mace-Decker Park and the municipal campus. It goes right by Township Hall, around Heritage Lake, near the new police station, so near Hope Chapel and the Andrews Schoolhouse. So gives you a nice, real small town sense of the beautiful campus we have there. That I feel blessed every day I come to work in such a beautiful place, and it's nice to see, nice to show it off to the rest of the community.
Definitely. Well, you can see, Brad, and with the offices right at the municipal building, the amount of users on that trail around Heritage Lake and Mace-Decker Park, it is amazing, the turnout. And I know with the beautiful gardens that we have down there and the volunteers that do a wonderful job, it's just very scenic run.
And we're hoping that the ducks and the geese will be there this year to cheer on our runners.
Yeah, they will be cheering them on, that's for sure. Now, if somebody wants to register, Brad, how do they go about doing this?
There's two websites you can go to. You can go to active.com and search the race as just search Shelby Township Veterans, or you can go to shelbytwp.org. We have it on the front page of our website on the news items. You can just go there and look for the yellow ribbon, and there's links right next to that. So it's probably the easiest way.
Now, if you have somebody that isn't an avid runner, maybe you never even ran in a 5K, organized 5K, would they be able to do this?
This is a really nice race for that, especially because it's a 5K run walk. So if you don't want to run it, you can walk it. And it's a very low impact course. It's 100% handicap accessible, which is a big point I wanted to make me and Phil Randazzo when we put it together.
That is nice, yeah.
That way even disabled veterans can take part in it. And the veterans, of course, all fees are waived. They come out and just have a great time. We have a special hero shirt that we give them so they stand out in the crowd, and everybody can come up and say thank you, and really celebrate them with the event and raise funds for the memorial.
Well, that's a great idea. So you're not only raising awareness for the veteran monument, but also for the veterans themselves, and a good chance for them to stand out. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, last year we had civilians in blue shirts and the veterans in red shirts.
Oh, okay.
So they really stood out in the crowd, and it was nice to see folks come up and shake their hands and say thank you. And I know I spoke with a few of the veterans last year during the race, and the smiles on their faces was just unbelievable. They really did enjoy a celebration of gratitude for them. That's the kind of theme of the race is thank you.
Right.
And it's nice to bring everybody together, and so that everybody can express that freely and have an opportunity for it.
Oh, it sounds like a great race. And then also, for any of the runners that are signed up, Brad, what time should they be there on November 2nd?
It starts at 11, so be there, a little bit before that, and probably get settled in.
Okay.
So after the race, we'll go right to awards ceremony and celebration. So you can come there, have a race, and then have a hot dog from Motor City Franks. They're going to be our hot dog vendor this year, and they've graciously said they will donate a portion of all sales that day to the memorial as well. So. Oh,
that's great. Well, very good. And Brad, now the last question I have is for the racer standpoint. What do they get? I know normally they'll get a shirt if you tend to race, and I see you have a
we have
swag bag here.
Well, this is our bag. It's red this year. Last year it was blue.
Okay.
They'll also have T-shirts. This year we'll have I believe a kind of a grayish shirt representing the Granite Memorial for the civilians, and the veterans will have a nice blue shirt. We're going for a long sleeve shirt this year though, because it is November and we understand it gets chilly, and if anybody wants to race in it, we want to make sure that they're warm enough. So we went with a long sleeve shirt this year. So.
Okay, so this is strictly from the Veterans Memorial Run, so it's actually not a swag bag with all the sponsors on there. But I do see
No, the sponsors will be on the back of the T-shirt, and they submit flyers and coupons and all kinds of nice stuff, and we got some protein bars and bottles of water that we'll be putting in there as well for the runners. So.
Okay, and I see we have Fazal Khan's and Associates as the headline sponsor.
Yeah, they're our sponsoring partner, and they help us get it done. They provide a generous donation that kind of covers all of our administrative costs to get it off the ground, so that the money the folks donate when they register can go directly, all of it, to the memorial. So 100% of the donations and funds raised goes into that memorial fund, which allows us to have maintenance covered. If there's any electrical work that needs to be done with the lighting, or day-to-day costs of buying wreaths to honor the fallen on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and making programs for those ceremonies. So it allows us to have that kind of reoccurring fundraiser to keep us operating there.
Yeah, well, there's always new and exciting features at Veterans Monument, so it's very nice to have these type of fundraisers to keep that going.
And we actually, one of those new exciting things is our water feature that Mr. Randazzo spearheaded, and we'll be formally dedicating that. Mr. Randazzo wants to have it dedicated. He's got some veterans coming with him to formally dedicate it to the residents of Shelby Township. He thought
couldn't do it on a better day, right?
It's a way of the veterans saying you're welcome for all the thanks, because he's always talking about how happy he is that he lives in a community that appreciates its veterans, and he wanted to show some of that appreciation back to the residents.
Very good. And I know for you, Brad, and Phil Randazzo and Mike Ward, we all appreciate all the work you guys have done on this race. And is there anything else that you'd like to add for the race?
No, just come on out. Not only is it a great fitness activity, and you appreciate the outdoors one last time before 3 feet of snow hit, but I can speak from personal experience. When you greet one of the veterans on that day, you shake their hands and say thank you, and just see the smiles on their faces, they gather and share stories. I mean, it's an event unlike any other on that level, to actually see the vets come together in the community and see them really appreciate the warm welcome they get. It's worth all the work by far.
Yeah, it sounds like that's priceless for sure.
Definitely.
Last question I have is, if I see we can pre-register, as you mentioned, what about the day of the race? If somebody
you can come in. We start at 9 a.m. Doors open in Township Hall. Come on in and fill out. It is $5 more day of the race.
Okay.
We do have a special day before special event. I want to think it starts about 10 or 11 a.m. at Hanson's Run Shop.
Okay.
In Utica, right there on Hall Road, just east of Van Dyke. You can go in there, register day before the race, $20 instead of $25, and they get you all set up with T-shirt and bag, I think, on that day, and then you can just roll in the day of the race and get started. And
if you need a new pair of tennis shoes, you're at the right spot for
they are
running
the
shoes.
experts.
Very good. Well, Brad, thank you so much for being on the show today, and look forward to seeing everyone out there on November 2nd.
No problem. Thanks again for the opportunity, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Brad. We'll be right back with Shelby Parks and Rec in the news after these messages.
The picnic shelters at Riverbends Park are available for rent starting January 9th, 2012. Reservations for the Bittersweet, Hickory Grove, and Maple View shelter will be accepted for groups for the months of May through September. For available dates, please contact Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department at 586-731-0300. Amenities include a number of picnic tables, 8 grills scattered throughout the main park area, playscape and disc golf course, horseshoe pits and volleyball nets. For more information and residential and non-residential fees, please call the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department at 586-731-0300.
Hello and welcome back to Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the news. With me now is Mike Adams from the Parks and Recreation Department. Mike, you saw we had Brad Bates on talking about the Veterans Run. What a wonderful event that we have here in the township. So make sure you mark your calendar for Sunday, November 2nd. So I always have a great turnout.
You keep saying that, and I have been avoiding those races, but I think this year's the year I'm going to get in a couple. I know they're growing popular, and some of them have. How much is some of those runs have? A few hundred people, don't they?
Yeah, they have a great turnout. Last year they had over 200 runners at the Veterans Run, and it's the first year, so
you should do it too.
I know. I've been thinking about it, just a little nervous. I just
same thing here.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it together, and we can talk about on our show how successful.
I beat you.
Yeah, good chance you would. You're 1 year younger than me, so you'll get the edge.
Thanks.
So, Mike, we have obviously we're getting into the late fall, winter season, so our baseball is winding down.
Yep.
Now we kick into the gear of the basketball season with many different age groups. And do you have a recap on the basketball season for us?
Yeah, currently we're still in our girls' season. We have grades 3 through 6 for the girls. They're kind of winding down. We're getting ready for boys 5th and 6th grade. And then we jump to boys 3rd and 4th, and then our teens play in this spring. So we do have our season spaced out, so everything's not compact into one season. And
part of that's due to gym time also, isn't it?
Part of that's due to gym time, yeah. We have X amount of hours per week in a couple of the local elementaries, so we kind of do have to space it out, which is nice too, so we don't have two or three different leagues running at the same time. So it's kind of spaced out. Everyone has their own couple months. So like I said, we're doing the girls right now, and everything's going very well. Okay,
Mike, this year is something new from the beginning of the season that we are in the elementary schools. In the past few years, we've been at the Boys and Girls Club. So can you explain why we're not at the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, I think we were at the Boys and Girls Club, which is on 21 Mile Road in Hayes. We were there for, I think, about 7 years, 7 or 8 years. It's a great facility. Unfortunately, they had some mechanical issues there, which we had to vacate the gym last December. The schools were very gracious.
They sure were.
Got us a couple elementary schools on a very, very short notice, so we were able to salvage that season. The club is still going through those issues this year, and we've just transitioned and stayed in the school system. And again, appreciate any help that they provided getting us those local elementary schools, and they have provided us with 2 to 3 elementary schools for the basketball.
Good. And also, we have some residents that have called about the junior high schools, why we aren't in those. Because prior to the Boys and Girls Clubs, we were at the junior highs prior to Boys and Girls. So, and the answer to that was when they had Title IX kick in, it's basically eliminated the Parks and Rec due to gym time because they had the sports were switched and they...
Some are simultaneous.
Correct, and the junior highs were extremely busy. They just didn't have time for us. So that's where we had that nice deal worked out with the Boys and Girls Club, but we don't control that facility. And so the elementaries, we're doing the best we can in that league. Yep, and
fortunate the days of play for some elementary schools that we did have are in the same as days they were at the Boys and Girls Club. So there hasn't been a huge adjustment, but Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club worked out great, but we're making do with elementary schools, and we appreciate it very much.
Very good. Keep up the great work with the Basketball League, Mike.
Thanks.
Just recently, Shelby Township Parks and Rec had a very nice event, the Halloween Spooktacular over at Riverbends Park. Great way to kick off the Halloween season. So let's take a look at some of the footage we have from the Shelby Cable Department.
Trick or treat. It's a monster Halloween. Trick or treat. It's a monster Halloween. Scarecrow, soup, skeleton steak, monster mash, pirate pancakes. Trick
No thanks.
or treat.
Yes, please.
It's a monster Halloween. Trick
No thanks.
or treat.
As you can see from the wonderful footage that we had, all the families and children, they had a wonderful event. We want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Genesis Credit Union, for all they've done to help offset the cost for this free event. We also had the Action Club there. They had pumpkin painting for free, and they had a couple hundred pumpkins, and they went through all the pumpkins. Also, thank you to the Shelby Township Police Department and the DARE officers for being there, and they were passing out candy as well. And we also had the Herman family, which took first place in the trunk or treat car decorating. They had decorated into his large shark, and they were #1, and they received a nice gift bag from the township, and also were on our Facebook page. So they were very excited, and they did a wonderful job. So it's events like that we like to see all the residents come on out. Nice family-free event, and it's one way to improve the quality of life for our residents here in Shelby Township. We'd like to let everyone know the Shelby Township News Worth Knowing. If I can get that on the camera here, John, I'll hold it up here. This is our newsletter, which gets mailed out 3 times a year. We have all the different departments' news and upcoming events and activities in the newsletter. Also, it's something you want to make sure you hold on to. And if for some reason you did lose the newsletter, we ask that you would go to the website, shelbytwp.org. And this newsletter is on there online, so you can click and find any of the information that you need. And at this time, just briefly, I'd like to go through and just touch on a couple of the items, Mike and I, that you would find in here. And for example, we have, which is very popular, is our Park Pavilion rentals. We have them at Riverbends Park, we have them at Woodall Park, we have Whispering Woods Park. So many different parks here in Shelby Township. And Mike, you know, I have to say this is probably more popular than it ever has been for family picnics, and there's wedding receptions and so on and so forth. And is it, a question we have is resident calls. What's the best way for them to sign up? Online, over the phone, come in person?
If they want to get a pavilion, a lot of people are already planning, if they haven't done so already planning graduation parties.
Sure.
And for some reason, a lot of people think about it once the new year hits. So once the new year hits, we're very busy. Things start filling up already for May, June, July, and August. So they can call us for availability. When they're ready, they can call and do it over the phone with the Visa or MasterCard, or come into the office, and we'll take the reservation that way. But they can just definitely call for availability, because, like I said, after January 1st, for some reason, we get definitely a spark in pavilion rentals.
Definitely. Also in the newsletter, you'll find Hope Chapel, which is the beautiful historic church on the township grounds. We have weddings there, and it is one of those
Beautiful.
One of those things, Mike, that, you know, at Shelby Parks and Rec, we look at it to say it's amazing how popular this has become. You know, it was transferred from the northwest corner, 24 and Van Dyke, onto the township grounds, remodeled, and we were going to have weddings in there, but it's really taken off, and people will come from all over the place.
And I think over the holidays, you see a big spike too. A lot of engagements over the holidays.
Sure.
I don't know if it's guys trying to figure out a Christmas gift. So, but always right after Christmas break, we always get a huge spike in rentals for the chapel, and it has definitely becoming more popular. We used to have 2 to 3 weddings per weekend. Now it's double that easy. Every weekend there's weddings in there.
Good. Also in here, we have the Heritage Garden reservations. If you want to get family photos, head on down, and we have actually wedding reception photos all the time down there. The nice thing about the Heritage Garden is you can rent this out. When you rent it out, we'll have an employee there to make sure, because we have it gated in the front and the back, that it's reserved for your time, so you don't have to have somebody that's already there get out or get into a confrontation with them. So when you do reserve it, we have employees there that will take care of that for you. We also have event sponsorship opportunities, which have become very popular. A lot of local businesses want to get their name out there. Mike, the 2015 calendar of events. We know this is very popular. A lot of families will take this out, put it on their pegboard at their house, and we'll see a lot of the same families coming to do many of the same events. Oh, yeah. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but in here in the newsletter, you'll find all of our Christmas events and activities that we have coming up, and a lot of different special events. And as you go through Little League Baseball registration, it's hard to believe we'll be talking about it now, but registration will begin in January. So it's right here in the newsletter that you'll find. And Mike, I want to talk about, once we get through a lot of our Parks and Rec, we have the lacrosse program, and once again the basketball registration. We have a lot of different activities from local businesses that contact our office, and they want to advertise in there. So if we have any business owners watching right now, what's the process that they would do if they want to advertise in our newsletter?
Well, a lot of there's a lot of activities in there. Like if they have classes or seminars, we work in conjunction with some of those local businesses like dance studios, fitness centers, things like that. We enter into a contract with them for that. If they just want to advertise their business, just want simply advertise them to put an ad in there. We can sell them a quarter page, half page, or full page ad. Obviously, it's different prices for each one of those. This does get mailed out 3 times a year. It goes to every Shelby and Utica address.
That's over 25,000.
I think it's even close to 30,000
now.
Yep. So it's really a good deal for what we charge for that, and it's a great way to get your word out, especially if you're a new business or maybe offering something new. I always use the example. One of the local gyms had a new deal on their monthly membership. They wanted to put that in there. They dropped it by $10. They put their ad in there, and they saw a spike of like 20% in their monthly.
See that? Yeah.
And I don't know if it's all because of this, but
I'm sure it helped.
Goes to 30,000 households times how many residents.
Right.
It definitely helps for the fee that we charge for that.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So 2 different options for our businesses here in Shelby Township. Yep. Very good. And Mike, we talked about that this gets mailed out 3 times a year, and also it is on the website. So if you misplace it, please make sure that you hold on to it, because it's going to last for a good 3, 4, or 5 months at least.
Through February. This one runs through February, so anything end of October through February.
Okay. Yep. And also we have a lot of different classes people are looking for. You'll have snowmobile safety, you'll have boater safety classes in here, yoga. Of course, wintertime, especially in January, people are ready to get back exercising again. Total body boot camp workouts, karate instructions, just basically something for everyone from 3 and 4-year-olds all the way through the senior citizens and older. So it's very nice to have. We try to make this a nice offerings for all of our residents here in Shelby Township is the best way to put it. So we definitely keep that in mind. So that's, once again, keep an eye out for the news worth knowing. It's mailed out in your mailbox. It'll be very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Mike, we've talked about the sports end of it. I just want to wind this down here because we get calls quite often about the soccer programs and baseball programs, especially with the real young kids. So we focus on that, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Yep. January they're going to be calling, and they want to get their children signed up. And basically we have spring, summer, and fall programs for all 3 of these, or all these sports, right?
We do. What will be in this next newsletter is the Little League registration, since there's so many kids. We do that in January. Like I said, a lot of people can't fathom that we do it 3 months ahead of time, but with over 1,000 kids, there's a lot of planning and prepping we have to do. So the baseball, girls softball, t-ball, coach pitch, all that's in here. Right. All our spring sports, like you said, for the t-ball and the soccer will be in our edition after this, which comes out like late February. But the biggie for this one is definitely the Little League baseball. And that goes from T-ball from age 4 all the way up to our 16-year-old boys league. So,
very good. Thank you very much, Mike.
Sure.
Appreciate the insight. And in all of our residents, if you have any ideas or any interests like you'd like to see in our upcoming newsletters, please give us a call or you can email us. Give us a call, though, at 731-0300. We're always looking to hear from you. 731-0300. Appreciate you watching, and please remember, here at Shelby Township Parks and Recreation, we create community through people, parks, and programs. Thank you very much. Have a great day.